Welcome to Show on the Go. It's your boy Roscoe Squeeze Off coming to you. I am without Rich Blackman and Edie Savage today, but just want to touch base with you on a certain topic. My topic is the U.S. Postal Service, USPS. So, they were looking for the little bailout, and I know they got like $25 billion that they were supposed to get $25 billion that the House is passing an infrastructure bill to help them get some e-vehicles and facility updates and things of that nature. But they say they're struggling. They may not be able to make it. And yes, a lot of people don't mail a lot of stuff anymore. When you think about it, people send emails, they send texts. Once upon a time, when you were a little kid in classes before many of you guys' time, you would have a pen pal. Your school would actually use it as a teaching tool to have a pen pal. You would write a complete stranger or somebody you knew from a different school district or a different part of the world or anything. But people don't send a lot of mail. Mail has become like the snail mail because you have so many instant ways of communication, social media, what have you. And then you also have a lot of competition. You got UPS, you got FedEx, you got DHL, you got all type of carrier services. So the United States Postal Service is hurting. Now, here's one of the big problems, though. You got to have the United States Postal Service. The reason being, if nothing else, is for the upcoming election. If the Postal Service is having a bunch of trouble and they can't get it there on time, and I'm hearing things like you got to mail your election ballots off at least a week in advance to hope that it's time-stamped properly, this may be a management issue or a direction issue. All right, first of all, this is just me not knowing a whole lot about the United States Postal Service, so I could be 100% wrong. Let's just put that out there. These are just thoughts that I'm just running through my mind, and I'm pretty sure smarter people have thought about this themselves. First of all, you can't get rid of the United States Postal Service because, one, the election. Two is they go almost everywhere. That's supposed to be like a constitutional right to be able to mail something. So there's like areas like, just for example, like in Alaska. I heard a story where some part of Alaska where none of the other prepackaged carriers delivered to, but the United States Postal Service goes there because there's no road or anything. So they actually fly there like once a week or twice a week or something and deliver and pick up mail and parcels and things of that nature. So as your right as an American to be able to mail something, you kind of need the United States Postal Service to make sure that happens, to make sure everybody can vote. Because you may have to do mail-in ballots because of coronavirus. And you've always had mail-in ballots because of absentee votes. I used to be in the military a long time ago. I did absentee voting. I wasn't in my state, my home state. I had to vote from wherever I was around the world. Not just America, pretty much around the world. It's called absenteeism voting. And you do it via the mail. Now, another thing I think they should try to do is make it a profitable entity. Because right now they say they're losing so much money, they're struggling. People don't buy stamps like they used to. Listen, they need to get competitive with UPS, FedEx, DHL, what have you. They need to have competitive pricing. They need to get that in more drop boxes for you to drop packages. They need to have, I think it was once upon a time I had a business and I would have like a Pitney Bowl system, and it would actually weigh my stuff, and it could put, weigh it and put it in. But the systems that I had in place for UPS and FedEx honestly worked a little better. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It was just easier to use, quicker, faster system. And I think what happens is you got to run that more like a business instead of a government entity. If you run that like a business, you should have more resources being a government entity. Go ahead, compete with those places. Do the same exact thing they do, plus do the mail. Have the stamps, have everything, but get on top of the package game. Packages go nonstop from businesses. Next day, packages go all the time. You got to get competitive. You have to beat these guys. You have to undercut them. Even if you operate at a small loss for being that you're operating at a loss already, operate at a small loss, make it happen. I know the president actually went off. He went off on him the other day, Trump, where he was saying that he didn't want to give them any money, and that they needed to. He said he actually called the United States Postal Service a joke, and he said that they needed to triple their production first before the government would give them anything. Now, I don't know about that. I don't know the full details of what they do. Like I said before, full disclosure. But I know, as I work in my city here, and I see male people, it's a different crew of male people than what I grew up seeing. You used to grow up seeing, people doing it, and they took their job serious. And I think they had more mail back in the day, because everybody mailed everything. You didn't have email as prevalent as it is now, and social media and all that thing. And people will be done by 5 o'clock. We done for the day. Got all the mail delivered. And now, man, I get mail sometimes 6, 7 o'clock. They be adding hours. I know they do Amazon on Sundays only or something. They open solely for Amazon, so they got that money coming from whatever Amazon pays them to deliver stuff. But it's just the work ethic has changed. They were known for rain, sleet, snow, or hail, and they had all this ethic. They were known for their work ethic. If somebody who was a postman or postwoman, it was like the ultimate respect, because you knew they worked through any type of condition. They work hard, they work fast, they make it happen. I don't know if we have that same work ethic with today. At least it doesn't appear that way sometimes when I look at them. And also, I had a sister that was doing it. That was doing it for a while. She didn't last long. She's too lazy. Too damn lazy. She was running behind schedule, running behind like, oh, this is too much. Up and down these hills, up and down these streets, walking in front of these people. She was always complaining. Where I have a friend of mine whose mother retired from there just a couple years ago. She made good money by the time she retired. She was an older lady when she retired, about 65, 66. And she always talked about how she never had problems finishing her route. She knocked them out. She knew what she had to do. She attacked it. She had a plan. She finished her plan every day, and it was done. So I don't know how much ethic has to do with what's going on. You got a lot of young people doing it. They even have a lot of temp jobs with it now too. I think they temp you in there before, it's not completely permanent now. They kind of work you out to see how you do it first. They give you a ton of overtime, and people are lazy. I see people on cell phones all the time coming through my strap. Like, how you doing? They be talking on their phone. They have to take a break. Hold on a second. How you doing? And they go back to talking and stuff. Not to say you can't be on the phone or whatever, but I'm just saying times have changed. People don't look at it. I don't even know if they look at it as a career the way they looked at it. Back in the day, it was known as a career. Somebody, they're a postal person. Oh, okay. That's like being a police officer. That's like being a firefighter. That's a career. That's not a job. That's a career. You stay there for 20, 30 years. You have a great retirement pension, and you can live the rest of your life until you pass on. You can leave something for your kids. You can own homes and the whole 9 yards off of being a postal worker. And I don't know if it's looked in the same light right now. That might just be my perception. Like I said, I'm just Roscoe Squeeze Off giving you my point of view. Full disclosure, I'm not all the way engaged. I just seen that it's been in the news lately and want to talk about it. And I hope they attack it in a way of, like I said, making it a profitable business. For you to be losing money, I understand you're losing. If you're depending on solely selling stamps, and I understand that everything they do comes from what they sell by stamps and packages, and they fund their own healthcare programs straight through what they're doing and they have a good healthcare program for their staff and the whole 9 yards. But if that's the case, then you need to make it like a profitable business. You need to go out here and make this thing happen some kind of way. You need to compete with UPS, FedEx, DHL, whatever. You need to get that business. You need to make these next day things. You need to be in businesses. So when businesses are selling next day overnight stuff and packaging, when it says pay for shipping, they need to be on everybody's option. The same way when I order from, perfect example, not trying to give anybody any publicity, but I order parts from Rock Auto for vehicles all the time. The options are usually UPS or FedEx or something to that nature. I'm not sure I even see the mail as an option. And why is that? Every business should be an option for every business. Whether they gotta hire people to go out there and talk to, because when I had them years ago, I think I had Pitney Bowes was who I got my little machine through, and that's how I mailed some stuff through USPS. Is through Pitney, but they need to have their own. Hell with it. You need to go out here and market to people. Go to businesses that do delivery. Find out, that offer delivery options. Find out who they are. Make sure you have a USPS station the same way they have FedEx stations and UPS station, things of that nature, and compete. You need to get in the delivery market is major. People do so much delivery, and I understand you're doing great with Amazon on the Sundays. I know you do a lot of. I think that's the only reason you're open on Sundays is the United States Postal Service. You can do more with them. I mean, Amazon does a ton of business. You need to be on that Walmart is trying to really delve deep to compete with Amazon on the delivery market. Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? When we were trying to get this podcast off the ground, we had a lot of questions. How do we record an episode? How do we get our show on all the apps that people will listen to? How do we make money off of our podcast? The answer to every one of these questions is really simple. Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing our podcast. Best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use. And now Anchor can match you with some great sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast. That means you can get paid to podcast right away. In fact, that's what I'm doing right now by reading you this ad. Anchor, we started almost about a year ago, and it's been a godsend. Like I said, it's a one-stop shop for everything. You don't have to have any experience, and it takes you where you want to be. So if you've always wanted to start your own podcast and make money by doing it, go to anchor.fm/start. That's anchor.fm/start. And join me and the diverse community of podcasters already using Anchor. That's anchor.fm/start. I can't wait to hear your podcast. You need to get in there heavy because they're going to fall by the wayside, and you're a necessary entity in America. So by they're falling in the wayside, we're going to end up bailing them out. We're going to have no choice because that's like let me even try to look this up. I feel like it's like a constitutional, like a need. Like it has to have. I feel like it's a need that America has to have it because of. Let me see. It's the Constitution, man. I'm looking at it right now. It says Congress is not required to establish post office. It merely has the powers to do so if it chooses to. And it chooses to do so in 1972 when it passed the Postal Service Act. It takes a repeal on the Act of Congress and another Act of Congress not to constitutionally amendment. So it's not a constitutional amendment. So it's not a constitutional amendment. But at the same time, Congress has the right to help them out. Now, the reason I say it's kind of like you have to is because, number one, we're about to do an election. And if we got coronavirus on a rampant rate, rates that it is right now, if we can't get a control on it because people refuse to do whatever it takes to make it happen or learn about it or whatever, it's no refusing. I'm just saying, it's just a wild thing. So I won't say what's causing coronavirus, but let's just say, if coronavirus is running rampant and we had to do mail-in USPS mail-in ballots, it's going to be a problem if they can't handle the load. If things don't go right, we need them to be operating efficiently at all times. We're not going to UPS for that. We're not going to FedEx for that. We're going to the United States Postal Service. We need to know that that's going to be working well. We need to make sure that is an efficiently running machine. And they need to compete and make the money they need to make that run and operate in the black and not in the red. So I don't know what they have to do and who can appoint the people at the top and everything like that, but that should be a goal. We have less than 100 days before the election. We need to make sure that is going to work. And I understand they don't want to use, certain people, certain parties don't even want to use the mail-in banners because they're worried about fraud, but it's going to be a part of it. I mean, there's no way to not be a part of it right now. You know what I'm saying? There's no way for it not to be a part of it. But at the same time, we need to get this place going well, because in order for them to compete or to be a self-sustaining entity, which it should be, because they have the ability. All right, for example, let's look at ticket writing. If you were writing tickets, if somebody does parking, any local government, like you see the parking wars, for example, parking wars with Philadelphia, those people pay their own salaries by the tickets they write. Now, every ticket doesn't go through, and people fight them in court and all that stuff. But they write enough tickets that pay everybody's salary there, and it probably helps out with other entities in the Philadelphia area. That's how that works. That's kind of how the United States Postal Service should work. Whatever they do by selling stamps, packages, what have you, should make enough money to cover the employees, fund their health care and things of that nature, cover the whole cost of them. But it should run efficiently. If it's not running efficiently like it did in the past, and I believe it's less mail now than in the past. Now, maybe there's more packages, but it got to be less mail. And then maybe it's not even more packages because you have so much more competition that didn't exist many, many years ago. You didn't have USPS, UPS back in the day. You didn't have, what's the other place? DHL. You didn't have FedEx. Let me see when FedEx started. I just want to know, how long has this competition even how long has it even been going on? Like, how long have you had this kind of let's see, FedEx started. They started in 1971 in Little Rock, Arkansas. Wow. Okay. So, Postal Service been around since they was on ponies, man. Since they was riding horses. So, they had a heck of let me see, UPS. Oh, damn. Well, the United States Postal Service actually started in 1907, as we know it. No, I'm wrong. The United Postal Service started in 1907, August 28, 1907. So, UPS has been around a lot longer than I had any idea. I never knew that it was around this long. Wow. I don't know if it was how it is now, but it started in Seattle, Washington in 1907. DHL started in 1969 in San Francisco, California. So, wow, okay. That's amazing. Either way, let me check let me see how long the United States Postal Service has been around. Just want to know. Well, United States Postal Service.com has been around since 1971. I don't know how you had a .com in 1971, but you learn something new every day. But actually, it started, according to this, it traces its roots all back to 1775 during the Second Continental Congress when Benjamin Franklin was appointed the first Postmaster General. Benjamin Franklin was the first Postmaster General, and we're at the point right now where we're losing money with the United States Postal Service. And they're looking for bailouts and help, United States, a USPS bailout. And we're unsure about the mail-in elections, and they're not getting the lion's share of the packages, as opposed to UPS and FedEx and things of that nature. So they got to turn this around. So that's just my thought on it. Let me know what you think. If you think that they're doing the best they can and they need help, but or they don't need help, but I would love to know why they have this profit loss problem. Let's see. They announced that this last year at one point in time, in November of last year, they announced they had an annual loss of $8.8 billion for the fiscal year of 2019. How is that even possible? And they had, hold up, the largest on record and the 13th consecutive year that the USPS has finished in the red. Come on, man. It goes back to 1775, man. Let me see if they got the revenue right here. $71.1 billion with a net income loss of $8.81 billion. So it has to be a better way to manage this. Maybe you gotta do what T-Mobile did. How they got that guy with the long hair. Next thing you know, T-Mobile was profitable and they was buying they was buying Sprint out all of a sudden. He turned their business around. He made them, a successful business. They need a guy at the top that can make this a guy or a woman at the top that can make this place successful, man. Because you have all the resources, you have the history. You were started by Ben Franklin. Why the hell are you losing? Why are you losing $8.81 billion? I mean, hey, like I said, this is me on the outside. Full disclosure, I don't have a lot of information. I'm not connecting in any way with this. I just saw it in the news. Thought I'd talk about it with you guys. Let me know what you guys think. Like I said, once again, this Roscoe Squeeze Off for Show on the Go. Sooner or later, we will reunite and form like Voltron. We will get Rich Blackman and Miss Needy Savage back. It's been a lot going on with the coronavirus and the hot summer and the whole 9 yards, but we will reunite soon. So every now I get a chance, I try to pop on here. I do apologize. Like I said, we will get back to normal soon, but as you know, the world is not normal right now. Once again, it's your boy Roscoe Squeeze Off. This is Show on the Go. And let me know what you guys think about this United States Postal Service mismanagement or what have you. Let me know what you think. I would love for somebody to chime in. You know, like I said, all our links will be posted. You know, for our Show on the Go Facebook page, I'll put it up on the page as well in the group. Let me know what you guys think. Once again, Roscoe Squeeze Off, Show on the Go. Till next time, peace.